Hi, I'd like to show you a great mod that Casey has written for enforcing conflicts in Dayback. So just a little orientation, what we're looking at is 4 days and 3 resources, and these resources are, because I've clicked on this folder, my team, so I've got these people, Jim and Amy and Dr. Smith here. So let's make a conflict and see what happens. So normally, when you move things around, we just get this toast at the bottom that lets you undo it and confirms that it's saved. But if we make a conflict like this, then this new script that Casey wrote is going to bring up a little dialogue. And this is just a FileMaker script, so it's really easy to modify. We'll take a look at that. Would you like to revert it, keep it, or accept it? So let's say revert, and it'll bounce back, and then we get our undo toast again, which is pretty cool. So again, I can move things around to where there's no conflict. Click undo, bring it back. But if I move something to where there's a conflict, let's try the other option. Let's keep it. And then we can decide, okay, well, maybe I don't want to do that. I'm going to undo it again. Great. Or we can bring it to where there's a conflict and then keep it and leave it there. And there was one other option. I'm going to drag it over here where it doesn't look like there's a conflict in the time, but there is an all-day event for Dr. Smith. That'll show us a conflict also. And in this case, I'm going to click Show. And it's going to bring us to the FileMaker layout that we've configured to use for this source. This layout for me doesn't really have anything on it, so I would probably customize this script to use maybe this layout, the event list. And now I can see the 2 meetings that were in conflict, the image lab here and meeting with Dr. Smith, and I can deal with them or adjudicate them or something else. I might even choose to look at them on this layout. But again, it's up to you because it's a FileMaker script and it's really easy to work with. So let's take a look at that script. One of the reasons I like this is that it makes it really obvious how easy it is to customize Dayback, especially to customize the FileMaker scripts. A lot of people think that because this is all JavaScript, you can't really change it, but you can definitely change the way it behaves. So in the blog post that accompanies this video, you'll see this script, which you can copy and paste in your file. This is just the script that actually detects the conflict. It unpacks a bunch of stuff from the event and then performs a pretty straightforward find looking at the date range. There's even some code commented out here, right here, to say, hey, would you like to go further and exclude, for example, records that might have a different status, like maybe things that are pending shouldn't contribute to the conflict. So Casey kind of shows you how to do that here, and then we're going to perform that find. And if any records are found, the script continues to say, hey, show this dialog. And again, you can customize all of this. Then where does this script go? Well, there's one major script in Dayback that does all the editing of your events. So when you drag an event in the calendar, this is this FileMaker script that runs. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom of it, you'll see that there's this comment here, make any additional edits to the record here. And then Casey includes just this little code to paste in here that says, hey, we're going to test for a conflict at this point. Run our little conflict detection script. And if the result of all of that is like revert, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, then we'll revert the record and you see that bounce back. So I really like this because it's great at showing conflicts, especially conflicts I might not see. So let's see, let's revert this. Let's bring it over here to where there's no conflict. I'll show you one of the reasons this script is so interesting. So I could filter for a bunch of statuses. Let's see, what status is this? This is delivered. Great. So that's on installations. So let's include things that are delivered and ready and done. Great. So it doesn't appear that there's a conflict here for Jim, but I know that if I clear the filters, there is. So I'm going to put all that stuff back. And when I move this to Jim, that conflict detection still works, which is important because a user could filter out records that could contribute to the conflict. And when I click show, I would see the 2 records, including a record that's not currently visible in the calendar, which is pretty cool. I'll show you one other thing that's pretty cool about this. I'm going to clear our filters. You can see this NA resource. This is where there's no resource assigned. So in this case, let me scroll down here. I've got my whole team, but I'm also going to add this none resource. And then we'll switch this to show for resources. So now I've got my team plus this NA column. So even though there's an event here, I can drag things into the NA column and they're not considered conflicts. The NA column is kind of like a place to just put placeholder events, maybe events that still need to be scheduled. Often we'll put events here and then let users, for example, if you're doing intake in a medical facility, all the appointments for the day would be in here at the correct times, and then you drag them out to see which practitioner they're really going to see that day or which room they're really going to be assigned to. So the fact that Casey's script doesn't treat this empty resource as a conflict, I think is pretty cool. Anyways, that's it. It's really easy to modify. The blog post here includes the code for doing the conflict check, as well as a bunch of notes about how you might want to customize it. And I hope you find that useful. Thanks.